Hi, everyone out there, and welcome to another weekend. And welcome to another edition of Black USA Crypto News. So glad you could join me. This week is a show where I'm going to give you a rundown on some of the most important news stories, in my opinion, taking place in crypto right now, or at least some of the most interesting ones to me. And I'll get to their significance in just a few minutes. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to Donnie Glover at Be More News and Black USA News. Got to catch his shows, his past shows, his upcoming shows. You can check that out on the Black USA Morning News Show. Also, be sure to check out Sister Biz with Tamara and Nicole. That airs every evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. They're talking about all the business movings and shakings taking place in the Baltimore DMV area. And if we want to take it back to the West Coast and you want to know what's going on in terms of the Black business out here, check out Doug Blackshear's show, the Black Business Roundtable, every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So he's always talking to great politicians and other Black business people out here. He's doing great things. So shout out to Doug. Doing big things, brother. Trying to be like you one day and clean up my act, I guess. I don't know. But Doug's a great guy, and I really like his stuff. So check it out. And, of course, every Saturday morning, be sure to check out The Blackout with Tazmira. It's a great show. I'm enjoying her content. She brings a lot of historical context as well as business context and, what's going on just in the general news in general. So now I'm really excited to share with everybody today that my book, D5 for the Diaspora, is now available in hardcover. You can check this out by going to my website, which is www.kamalrhubbard.com. I know my name. It's Kamal R. Hubbard. And my website is www.kamalrhubbard.com. Bear with me, guys. It's been a long week, but it's been a good week. Bitcoin markets are up. The new version of my book is out. And it's got a foreword by Bryce Weiner. If you don't know who he is, check out our past show where we featured him, talked about the Town Network, as well as a number of other great things. He's probably one of the foremost blockchain technical minds out there. So great insight from him. And like I said, feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's also available in paperback as well as the ebook format. And last but certainly not least, it's worth checking out, at least in my opinion. There is a free newsletter that I put together called Cage Chain. It's a midweek newsletter that, once again, gives you everything that's going on in the middle of the week. So you don't want to miss that. Be sure to go to the cagechain.com or cagechain.io websites, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. It's absolutely free. So I get it. You may not want to buy my book right now. You might want to see, some of my views on crypto and see if I bring any value to the table. You have no obligation to sign up for a free newsletter. So check it out. It's packed full with analytics, some of the most pertinent news stories of the week so far. And actually this week, I have an explainer on the Lightning Network. This is also worth checking out. It's a pretty approachable piece I put together on what Lightning is and its significance. And hey, check that out. You go to the right. You can, after you read this explainer, you can go and subscribe to the newsletter. All this is free, no obligation once again. So whether you check out my book, my newsletter, this explainer on the Lightning Network, hopefully you have a chance to walk away with some informative views on crypto. Here to hopefully get you guys up to speed or help you guys learn a thing or two. That is definitely what I'm here for. So I don't want to delay this news any further. So, people catch this show at different times of the day. Sometimes they catch it live. Sometimes they catch it later on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. But today's show is, once again, it's a roundup of all of the news that I thought was probably some of the most important in the industry this week. So whether you do catch it now, catch it a couple days later, you're not really missing out on anything. But I'm doing this in the hopes of keeping you up to date and informed on what's going on out there. This was a particularly interesting week for a number of reasons. Let me start, though, with what is some of the newest news in the industry, which is Brian Brooks has officially resigned from Binance.us. Now, this is a very interesting headline because a few weeks ago I talked about Catherine Coley, who was Mr. Brooks's predecessor at Binance.us. So go check out that past news roundup show where we talked about Catherine Coley and everything that's going on with her so-called mysterious disappearance. But regardless, Brian Brooks came in as her successor into Binance US just 3 months ago, and already he's calling it quits. Why? Very interesting to know why. The only thing that he has cited on his Twitter, of course, is that he had some differences in strategic direction. Very interesting. That's all he would really leave in terms of reasons why he's departing, and he has not given any other comments since. So let's make sure we keep an eye on Mr. Brooks's whereabouts, and but I'm sure he'll be fine. Everything will be on the up and up, and he will continue to do well in this industry. So we wish him nothing but the best. He was previous Office of Comptroller Currency under the Department of Treasury in the Trump administration. So, and even before that, he had, I think, a general counsel position with Coinbase. So he's had some pretty exciting positions within the crypto industry in the public sector as well. So there's no telling what he's going to do next. It looks like he wants to stay relatively prominent. If I had to guess, guessing some degree of some consulting may take place next, or who knows, may head back over to Coinbase, where I'm sure there's a spot for him. All right, so I think I think of that as the biggest news of the day today on Friday. But the biggest news of the week has been the infrastructure bill. Now, there's been quite a bit of back and forth, right? During the Trump administration, the previous president wanted to make infrastructure important. He wanted to make it a priority, but it never happened. There's a lot of things going on in that last administration. Infrastructure wasn't one of them, unfortunately. Well, okay, that's arguable, but a Trump era infrastructure bill never happened. Now we're in the Biden administration, and this administration is serious about putting together this bill. It's going back and forth in Congress, and obviously, in the Senate and in the House, it's going back and forth. What happened actually a couple of weeks ago, or may have been a couple of weeks ago, but certainly this week, it became very prominent. There's a provision in this infrastructure bill dealing with cryptocurrencies. Now, there's no real connection between infrastructure. Well, there's connections. You can make connections, draw connections between infrastructure and cryptocurrencies. But a cryptocurrency provision in an infrastructure bill, something doesn't seem to add up about that. And that's what people in the industry are actually crying out, because this crypto provision seeks to strengthen enforcement of cryptocurrencies when it comes to tax evasion. So this is an IRS matter, and as far as I know, or at least as far as what my research has shown, the IRS has not said that cryptocurrencies are being used on a wide scale to evade taxes. So if you're using this infrastructure bill to kind of slip this in, something doesn't quite seem right about that. And once again, just about everyone in the blockchain industry has had something to say about it, rightfully so. It casts a wide net. And in my opinion, if this goes through the way that it's been proposed, it's going to create a massive chilling effect on crypto markets in the United States, and it will also affect the crypto markets globally. But in the United States, if someone was told that, hey, you know what, essentially the government is going to have even more regulation, more of a crackdown on the cryptocurrency industry, well, what are cryptocurrency companies that are based in the United States going to do? They're going to leave the country. So that hurts our economy. That also hurts innovation, because most of these cryptocurrency or blockchain related companies, they're tech related, and that's where most of the innovation is coming from, is from the technology sector. So, it's a lose-lose proposition the way that it is currently drafted. However, after, there's been at least 16 civil society organizations that have called on Congress to fix this. So at least 16, which, that got Congress's attention, and a few other senators have said, hey, we'll try and make a revision to the provision as it has been drafted, to essentially have more clarity around what this regulation will actually mean. And I even think with the revision as proposed, it's still missing the mark. That's just me personally. But, I'm going to keep an eye on this for you guys, and I hope you guys keep an eye on it on your own end as well. The infrastructure bill has not passed, so this crypto provision has not passed either. But it might be the opportunity to call your representative in Congress or your member of Congress to say, this is not something you agree with as proposed. It really should just be separate legislation that affects the industry on its face. I think that would really give people a little bit more confidence across the board when it comes to these things. So, but once again, keep an eye out for this. I mean, the infrastructure bill, I think some of our other shows, maybe the Black USA morning shows, talked about the infrastructure bill. The Black Business Roundtable, I think they've touched on the infrastructure bill and what it really means to Black business in particular. I think it will be a great benefit to Black businesses as a whole. The crypto provision obviously will hurt the blockchain or the domestic blockchain in cryptocurrency industry if it is to pass once again as drafted. So that was big news, and it's going to continue to be big news. I think we probably know this given the political climate. So happy I can move away from politics. Ooh. But let's talk about EIP 1559, also known as London. Now, EIP 1559 stands for the Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559. So also better known as London. And it has been proposed to reduce energy consumption as well as being a fair, safer way of transacting on the Ethereum blockchain. And it will redistribute mine hashing and provide greater speed and a lower cost in network fees. And, who doesn't want that in the Ethereum blockchain right about now, except for the current miners, right? But when we look at last year, the gas wars that were taking place, and how much it costs to either do a decentralized exchange transaction or interact with a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain towards the latter part of last year, it was way too expensive. It was not fun for people who are, just really getting into DeFi. It was, to a certain extent, hurting some people from getting into DeFi on the Ethereum blockchain once again. But this improvement protocol really seeks to change all that. And it appears to be going live. It looks like it's gone through. And now the way that transactions will take place on the network are totally different. It's no longer a proof of work consensus model. It will be a auction-based model. So how this will work is there will be a base fee for every transaction on the network. And this will hopefully alleviate the volatility as well as make gas prices much more stable. So that's what everyone is looking forward to with this improvement provision or improvement proposal, excuse me. So if there's more traffic, there will be a higher base fee. But if there's less traffic, that base fee will be lower. And of course, there will still be that auction that takes place to see whose transaction takes place first. And miners can receive an incentive for each transaction for every block through a standardized tip. So, instead of a block reward, there will be this tip that the miners will get. So hopefully this is a good compromise. Like I said, users of the Ethereum blockchain are very much in favor of this. Hopefully it gives miners a reason to kind of hang in there and continue to assist transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, another noteworthy story this week was that of the Bitcoin SV 51% attack. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrencies and blockchain, they can be hacked. It's very difficult to do it, but they can be hacked. One of the most the more typical types of hacks that take place on a blockchain is the 51% attack. 51% attacks occur when one or more miners that control at least 51% of the network take over the mining power or the computing power of the network. So, if they have over a majority, over that 51%, the miners essentially control the network and the transactions that take place on that network. So they're the ones that take control over the validation of those transactions as well. Why this is noteworthy in particular when it comes to Bitcoin SV. Now, Bitcoin SV, I haven't checked the charts lately, but it's really regarded as like the number 2 Bitcoin clone, I guess is one way of saying it. I mean, if we look at the original Bitcoin, BTC, right? Everybody knows Bitcoin. Then, other people are very much enthusiasts of Bitcoin Cash, which is also goes by the ticker BCH. Now, what I consider to be kind of like the third iteration or these top 3, what people consider to be the real Bitcoins is Bitcoin SV. Its letters or ticker symbol is BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Now, that's why BSV is noteworthy, but it's also noteworthy that this may just be the 5th attack on the BSV blockchain that has taken place since July. So it just has to make someone wonder what's going on with Bitcoin SV right now. So to be hacked this many times is not a good thing. It's clearly not a good thing, and it makes everyone wonder, well, what's going on with BSV? It does have a great vision, but right now they appear to be having a rough go of it. So, we wish everybody at BSV good luck in remediating this 51% attack and coming back better and stronger from this. So, you know what? That is it for the news. You guys be sure to tune in weekly for more Black USA crypto news with me, Kamal Hubbard. And be sure to check out some of the other shows here on Black USA News. And with that, I hope you guys have a safe weekend. Enjoy the weekend and be safe out there. Take care.